What everyday skill becomes suspicious if you're too good at it? Cleaning liquid spills. If Junior knocks over their glass or the cat gets too close and personal with the fish tank, most people just tend to throw a bathroom towel over it or get out the wet vac. Not super effective and tends to allow time for staining. Some salt, aerosolized carpet foam, and some paper towels will clean up anything like it was never there and in record speed. And all for the low price of making people very uncomfortable as they imagine you as a mob cleaner. For extra points, using this method to clean blood out of carpets or off cheap porous tiles. People's faces are hilarious. My grandpa used to work in the film industry, making fake money for movies. He got so good that it started looking a little too real. He was then visited by the FBI. Didn't get in trouble or anything, they just told him he had to make the money look a little more fake. When I was 18 years old, I'd gotten a short-term job wrapping motion picture money. It was for a film friend of a guy that managed the UPS store. They had a hiring sign on the front door, so I initially walked in thinking it was a regular clerk job. Nope, I sat in the back room on a stool underneath the packaged peanut funnel, wrapping hundreds of bundles for months. I never really got full details on anything, but it paid in cash and I developed a unique skill. Okay, yeah, motion picture money. Sure. Sounds like the kind of thing you'd pay someone real cash under the table for. I remember license plates. Not an everyday skill, but I went to the store last night and I recognized a plate from 8 years ago. Told my mom, and she ended up having a conversation with the lady from the car who turned out to be my old friend's mom. It's also really helpful if you need to help the police out for a crime. There was a robbery and I made a mental note of the van's number plate. Bam, they got prosecuted. Breaking into cars and being able to hotwire them. I had a shitty Toyota Corolla back in the day, and I had to break into it frequently and start it without a key. No, I'm not a criminal, I just play one on TV. Fun fact, in Poland you'd be a criminal. It's illegal to learn or practice anything related to breaking in or even owning picklocks, even if it's your property. That law doesn't apply if your workplace is officially registered as a company that provides lockpicking services though. Being unbothered by gore. I'm a veterinarian. I've spent days up to my elbows in all manner of bodies and parts and fluids. I can watch surgery or necropsy videos over lunch. I did an eye surgery on Tuesday, and somebody had to catch the new kid from falling down. The big ones aren't allowed to get faint. It's very inconvenient. On a related note, when the nice young lady at the bank says, "Oh my god, there's blood on your shirt," assuring her that it isn't your own, in fact, offers no reassurance. Spatial awareness. I can look at something and tell you whether or not it will fit onto a wall, into a box or car, through a hallway or a stairwell, etc. I was at a shopping store a few months ago, and a guy was in line behind me trying to figure out which size box to get for the box he was trying to fit into it. I pointed at a specific size and said, "That one, but only if you put your box in this side up." It slid in perfectly, and he gave me the weirdest look. Somehow though, I always seemed to bump into the corner of tables. Strep throat tests. I used to get strep a lot as a kid, so by the time I was tested for it as a 20-year-old, I had the process down. They stick in a big popsicle stick to hold down your tongue, and then they swab the back of your throat while you try not to gag. Well, I happened to be tested by a relatively new, young, attractive doctor this particular time, and when he complimented me on doing well on the test and not gagging, my response was, "Thanks, I've had practice." If not suspicious, it was at the very least mortifying after realizing the implication of what I had just said. As a nurse who always performed these, any adult that could do a throat swab with zero gag, cough, or flinch always made me wonder. The ability to bullshit your way out of situations. I have this skill, and my wife rides the line of loving it, being jealous of it, and absolutely hating it. Despite my reassurance that I never do it to her, she is still skeptical. I can bullshit my way out of most things, but more importantly, I can bullshit my way into things. I have a natural act like you belong talent. I'm most proud of the 100-mile-an-hour over speeding ticket that I BS'd my way out of. As far as BSing my way into things, probably when on vacation in Monaco, I managed to get a lobster tail directly from the kitchen of a really fancy joint called La Grill because my wife wanted seafood and there was no way we could afford to eat there. My wife and I went to a shooting range and tested out a variety of guns for the first time. Her accuracy with a Glock was very impressive, and she topped the group scores by quite a way despite never firing a gun before. The trainer leant into me, and with his strong Eastern European accent quietly said, "Check her background." She still tells that story to somebody almost monthly. I'm extremely good at reading people, getting information out of them, and getting them to like me for no reason. I once befriended my boss's enemy over dinner and came back explaining the intricacies of his personal life and how he felt about his marriage. My boss asked me if I was a sociopath. I have a similar gift. People just tend to pour their lives out to me. I don't know why. My husband thinks it's insane. I know more about his family and friends than he does at this point. People just get very comfortable with me very quickly, and will tell me all kinds of things unprompted. Being able to skin and clean a carcass. Everyone thought I was sweet and cute until they forced me to skin and clean the deer and birds they brought in. When I'd gone through 3 birds in less than a minute each, they looked at me differently. They didn't know that I knew how, and thought that I was refusing to skin and clean because I was grossed out. Nope, just raised to clean what you kill, and had done it enough times that I didn't care to do it again. And after telling them this, they became even more concerned. Alright, now we'll hop into a rapid fire segment of this video for stories too short to make a full entry out of, but too good to leave out. Let's jump in. Being able to identify weapons. I can do this with most guns, pistols, revolvers, knives, etc. The fact that I have to travel on business and can't talk too much about the work I do because of confidentiality agreements really helps my case here. Digging deep holes. Got a lot of strange looks in basic training when I dug a foxhole faster than anyone else by myself. Grew up with a small farm, learned to dig efficiently as a child to dispose of dead animals. Counting bills quickly. Something I learned when in Uzbekistan. A place where the highest denomination was 1,000, but a meal at a restaurant cost anywhere from 20 to 30,000. Being able to recognize pills. No, I'm not a drug dealer, I just work at a pharmacy, and some of them are very distinct. Being able to convert grams to ounces and pounds just off the top of your head, and having a good grasp of all the fractions in between. Using a mouse with your non-dominant hand. I will remember your car and every detail about it before I can remember your name. I did this with a buddy of mine's car the other day, actually. I was working a little later than usual, and my job involves me traveling around different parts of the city a lot. And right as I was about to leave, I see this car roll into a gas station next door that has the same rims as his, the same window tint as his, on the same windows as his. Now, Buddy has no right being in this part of the city. He never comes to the side of the city that I was in. But all the details just matched. Like, that had to have been his car. So I rolled around the gas station to see if I could see him at the pump, and lo and behold, there he was. Alright guys, that's it for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. I'm ReddList. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you next time.